Hi, I'm John Hill, and welcome to my new show, Show Pony, right here on the internet. Let's get things started, shall we? Let me unlock my laptop. This doesn't have the aesthetic that I would like in the shot. I have obviously the show's namesake. I have my Texas tumbler with some delicious raspberry lime seltzer from Schweppes. This doesn't quite match. However, I do need it for notes. Anyway, what I'm saying is hi. I'm excited to announce my new show, Show Pony, as you can see here. Thank you to those who have followed me from the very beginning, when I was on Broadway, when I had a website and a blog before anybody had a blog. johnhillonline.net, I believe it was. Don't own that anymore. Not sure who does. Somebody called GoDaddy. That was Nonsensical Musings. A lot of people liked it. And then a lot of people who have followed since the Broadway days, Hairspray, Boy from Oz, Bear, Miss Saigon. Then there's a whole other faction of people who started following me during the early YouTube days. Happy to be back here on YouTube. Johnny and Kooks, my incredibly viral web series, which we had to make private because it was racist. And then, of course, I spent 12 years producing reality television. Now, listen, I am going to use my regular mic normally, but I'm going to edit this myself, and I can only do it if I use this mic. Don't worry about it. It's a technical thing. It's for people who are good with tech like me. This show, Show Pony, is going to be all about all of the entertainment that I cover, from Broadway to producing reality TV to being on the radio with Andy Cohen for 10 years. And specifically, season 1 of Show Pony, I'm going to start with a rewatch of a vintage Bravo show called Workout. I never watched Workout. I'm very excited about it. I lived in LA in 2006 when Workout was a thing, but I just never got around to watching it. Okay, since the show is starting with a rewatch of a vintage Bravo reality show, Workout, I thought it would be good to give you my entire reality TV show producer resume. Let's go. I sold a show to MTV in 2005-06. I sold it to World of Wonder. We sold it to MTV. We made the show. We spent a year working on it, and it never aired. That show was so difficult, I almost threw myself in a river in West Virginia. It was rough. I will do a whole other bonus episode about that at a later date. But that was the first thing. My first entry into reality TV show producing was at a, selling the show level. So I didn't work my way up from like PA to producer or whatever. I kind of started, at the top, but still impoverished. After that, there was a scandal. I'll get to it. Because the show didn't air, World of Wonder was very cool to me. And they were like, this sucks. You moved across the country to work on this show. We will hook you up and make you a producer on Tori and Dean. In Love, Tori Spelling, Dean McDermott, making a bed and breakfast in Temecula, California. Also difficult. Didn't try to throw myself in a river, but definitely turned into a drug addict. After that, I moved over to Bravo, Step It Up and Dance. Also, just one season. Elizabeth Berkley, know me from Showgirls. Nomi Malone was the host. Jerry Mitchell, Broadway choreographer, who's also a friend of mine from Hairspray, was the Tim Gunn. It was bad. People didn't like it. I loved it, but damn, that was a challenge. Then I stayed with that same production company and went and produced Project Runway. I believe I was season 5. Went to New York, produced Project Runway, and then they moved me over to another dance show called Dance on Sunset on Nickelodeon. I don't know if anybody remembers it, but it was a great show. It was like American Bandstand for like tweens, like 12, 13. It was adorable. We had huge people on it too. We had Janet Jackson on there. Then after I worked on Dance on Sunset, I went over to Kathy Griffin, My Life on the D-List, which was in season 5 on Bravo at that time. It had won 2 Emmys. It was a big break for me. I got to write, pitch ideas, write jokes, direct her in the field, and then edit. It was a great School of Hard Knocks training ground. I got to pitch my idea, do her interviews, and shoot it in the field with her, then come back and edit it myself and post. So I learned a lot about post that way. Then went over to King of the Crown, which was on TLC. It was about pageant girls in South Carolina, the girl, and such as Miss Teen USA, Caitlin. It featured her pageant coach. It was another brilliant show, only one season. I moved over to Attack of the Show on G4, which was a tech show, like pre-Twitch. Olivia Munn was the star. They called me and they said, hey, we need someone who can work with this wild, crazy girl who she hates everyone. So can you come do it? She'll probably fire you. And I said, yes, of course. I went over there. We became close friends, still are to this day. Not close, but friends. Love her. Then I went to I went back to New York. I remember I was like, I miss performing. So I co-EP'd a show called The Approval Matrix. It was an Arable pilot for Bravo, and I was a panelist. Keep in mind, at this time, I had descended so deeply into Vicodin addiction. Vicodin, weed, pills. I was depressed. I had such bad anxiety. But somehow felt like it would be the right time to try being on camera on Bravo. Everyone else, it was like 4 panelists and me. It wasn't funny. I wasn't funny. I look back and cringe. People hated it. It didn't go anywhere. And I tucked my tail and ran kicking and screaming to Texas, where I was the executive producer of the A-List Dallas, which was so bad, it tanked not only the Dallas franchise, but the New York one as well. It was that bad. So it was around this time I was like, I need to reevaluate my fucking life. And so at this exact point, right when I was done with A-List Dallas, Andy said, watch What Happens Live, which at that point was online, or one night a week, I guess, on Bravo. He said, it's going to go 5 nights a week. And when it does, you have a spot here. If you want to write and produce this show 5 nights a week, come and do it. And I said, that's all I want. I don't want to be coming up with story for these cowgirls. I can't do a reality show anymore. I want to write titty jokes. And so I was there writing and producing Watch What Happens Live for 4 years. Also still struggling with I could not get sober, girl. It was a mess. I was high at work. Everyone knew it. It was so embarrassing. It was such a struggle, but they were so cool to me there. They helped me get healthy. I left that show after 4 years and went back to World of Wonder in LA, produced 2 episodes of a sitcom for Bianca Del Rio. When I was on death's door, I somehow sort of story produced in a junior capacity, having gone from executive producer now as a junior stringer outer on Below Deck Med, because Nadine, my friend, took pity on me. I had nothing to do. I produced the pilot of Lady Gang, which did do well on E! It got sold, but I was such a mess during the pilot taping. I wasn't asked back to produce the series, but it's okay because I wasn't happy. Looking back now, I did get sober. I've been on SiriusXM radio every morning with Andy Cohen Live for 10 years. We're about to reach our 10-year anniversary in October, and also doing my own solo show there. After the pandemic, I realized I can't keep swimming upstream with reality television. I'm so unhappy. I'm miserable. I hate it. I love reality TV. I thought it was going to be a good job for me, but I actually don't have the skill set. I do have the skills, I guess, but for some reason, whether it was being an addict or whatever, I just was really unhappy. So after the pandemic, I focused on what I wanted to do, things that made me happy, things that brought me joy. And that was the show I did on the radio with Andy. And I was like, I'm going to put my full pussy into this job. I'm going to show up prepared. I'm not going to be resentful, even though that's hard sometimes, because I'm underpaid, which is why I'm doing this. So now I've been sober for 4.5 years. I'm happy in my work. I'm touring the country. I'm writing original music. I'm doing comedy, and I like my job. I'm doing projects like this, and there's parts of reality TV that I miss. So I am excited to go back. And through the lens of all the stuff I just said, all those shows I produced, and that time, I was there in the beginning of I was producing reality shows in 2006 when Workout premiered. I started watching it. We'll get into it. That's the long and short of it. Welcome to Show Pony. I'm glad to have you. Let me know more of what you want to see. I will be using a cuter mic. I'm also going to do an after Show Pony on Patreon every week. So subscribe there now. And I'm not leaving SiriusXM. This is just a little supplement, because a lot of people that follow me don't listen to SiriusXM. A lot of people on the old Instagram are not SiriusXM subscribers. So this is a way for everybody to access all of it. Welcome to the show. Subscribe, tell your friends.